Hi guys, and welcome back to our series on YUMIWeb. Today we're going to be looking at program grids, so we'll see things like this one right here, in which we can have features like this one, which I feel like they do a huge difference when looking at these kind of supports. We'll be looking at different things like this one right here. It's still a grid, but just exporting a different way. And then we also have other things like this one right here. So in this case, rather than have each of them being a channel, we'll just have one channel at a time and different dates. Now, some of you that work with grids probably already know some of the pains that come with working with these. Mainly because some of you might be, at least in the moment, either putting this in a PDF and then exporting it, or maybe you do things in a different way and you try to break apart in different time slots and place them, each of them, in a different sheet of paper so you can then print them out. But in YUMIWeb we try to explore this in a different way, because we want you to be able to just grab something like this and work with it in your tablet or in your smartphone or whatever. So this means that you can do with your fingertips things like this one. Okay, so let's suppose you're in a meeting, you need to look at a certain part of the day, let's say 8 p.m. What you can do, you can just grab this part right here and just drag it into the moment that you want. And then you want to investigate a certain minute, you want to know more about it, you can just hover over that minute and see what was being broadcasted there. So you can actually use the grid to learn much more, since we have this dynamic aspect to the time band, which allows you to place much more information without it getting overly saturated. So this is one of the main deals here. But again, one of the beauties of YUMIWeb, as I probably mentioned a lot of times until now, is that everything is customizable and everything follows the same rules and concepts. So this is just a normal widget. What you see here is completely editable. So let's suppose that I want, for example, the typology here, just to do something a bit different, because right now the colors that you see over there, just for decoration purposes, but we can do something more. So let's just go ahead and add this, and let's hide it. Now, some of you might think it's a bit weird that I'm hiding it. Other people will probably have already guessed where I'm going with this, but let's go here to the color by, and we're going to select that for every typology we're gonna see a color by typology. So the next time I run the report, you will see that it now matches, the color matches the typology of the program. This can be very useful if, for example, you have, rather than have the channels side by side, you can have it just one channel in different dates. And that way you can see different spots of colors. For example, blue here means information, news programs. So if you see a lot of blue and, for example, the audience is going up in every single day, maybe you're doing something right. If it's the opposite, maybe you need to look at that. So that's the kind of insights that you can probably reach with something dynamic like this one right here. So let's just do that I was mentioning. Let's change this around a bit more. So another thing that you can do, for example, if you don't like the snapshots right on top of the grid, you can also change them around, and they can just stick to the left side, and it might be easier for you to read. For example, I prefer this way. Again, it's up to your preference. You can also change this to a vertical grid if you prefer. If you have lots of dates, for example, it might work better, or if you have lots of channels that you want to compare. When it's just 4, I don't think it works that well. Let's go back there. And let's go here to the layout. Let's change something else. So for example, I can just drag the channel over there. Let's say I want each of the channels to be a page. And let's add the date over there. Let's unhide it as well. And now, since we are going to see a date by date, it will make sense to add some more dates rather than only having the last available date. So let's just add a few more dates and let's run this widget. Now you will see that you have just one. For example, I can select here TVI and I will see the program grid for the whole week or for the last 10 days or whatever for that channel, and I can match it up with the colors that I was mentioning before. So there's a lot more that we can do with this. I would just like to show you that a less neat detail, because you can go here, for example, and rather than saying that you want, for example, the programs, you can have a grid with only, for example, your brakes. So basically, at the end of the day, it really is up to you what you want to see, but you can always have the power to change the grid that you have on hand. So thank you a lot for your attention, and I hope to see you in the next video.